Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and today we are actually talking about January 6th, and I swear this actually relates to cybersecurity and technology because January 6th shows us that our biometrics really don't secure us, at least here in the United States. Now here's what's going on. This is coming from TechCrunch, and I thought this was absolutely fascinating to the point where it is actually going to be my deep dive for this week's radio show, and I've done a lot of homework on this that I will explain in more depth when I have more time than this quick video, if you will, as I do daily. Now, here's what's up. Again, from TechCrunch. A federal judge in D.C. has ordered a man accused of participating in the Capitol riot on January 6th to unlock his laptop with his face after prosecutors argued that his laptop likely contains video footage that would incriminate him in the attempted insurrection. Now here's the guy. His name is Guy, actually, Refit, and he was arrested in late January, 3 weeks after he participated in the riot, and he's been in jail ever since. Now, he has pled not guilty to 5 federal charges, including bringing a firearm to the Capitol grounds and also a charge of obstructing justice. Now, his Windows laptop was one of several devices that was seized by the FBI, which investigators said was protected with a password, but could be unlocked, using Refit's face. He's probably using Windows Hello, the facial recognition, so boom, Face ID, there you go. Although Face ID is Apple's thing. Now, prosecutors said forensic evidence suggested that the laptop contained gigabytes of footage from Refit's helmet-worn camera that he had allegedly used to record some of the riot, meaning he probably stuck a GoPro on his helmet and turned it on, and that's where the footage is on that laptop. Now, prosecutors asked the court if it could compel Refit to sit down in front of the computer to unlock it. Simply face there, computer unlocked. Now, Refit's lawyer told the court that his client could not remember the password to the laptop, but the court sided with the government and granted the motion to compel his biometrics, meaning his Face ID. Refit's lawyer told CNN, which first reported on this court order, that the laptop is now unlocked, meaning they sat him down in front of that, his face unlocked it, and here we are. Now, the government took advantage, essentially, of a loophole in the Fifth Amendment, which grants anybody in the United States the right to remain silent, including the right not to turn over information that could incriminate them in a crime, such as a password, meaning you have the right under the Fifth Amendment to basically not incriminate yourself. It's against self-incrimination, and so I don't have to turn over passwords, actual passwords that I have to type in. But some courts have ruled that those protections don't extend to a person's physical attributes that can be used in place of a password, such as a face scan or a fingerprint. In Refit's indictment, the FBI said as much, arguing that compelling Refit to unlock his computer by sitting in front of it would not run afoul of the defendant's Fifth Amendment rights against self-incrimination. Now, courts across the United States are still divided on whether the reading of the Fifth Amendment and whether it applies to the compelled use of biometrics is actually at issue here. The U.S. Supreme Court isn't likely to address this issue anytime soon because it's rejected 2 petitions already in the last 2 years to basically rule on this, leaving it essentially up to the lower courts and therefore the states to decide. And I've been doing my homework on this one. And again, I'm going to save much of this for the deep dive, but I think this is a really important thing. And the point that I'm going to be making on air on my radio show is simply this. Forget January 6th for a moment. Forget a person's guilt or innocence. We don't have a clear understanding of necessarily what this is. Now, as I've been reading the case law and opinions on the Gov websites, the actual government websites of the United States, part of the argument that the lawyers have, or rather I should say the judges have when deciding these things, is that to simply put your finger on a device or sit in front of a face doesn't compel you to actually think about what a password would be, or basically the possible incriminating evidence on your laptop or your device. So if I put my finger on my phone without thinking about it, here we are. Now, one of the things I'm also going to mention on air is essentially that if you are protesting something peacefully, something that January 6th unfortunately did not devolve into or evolve into, was not at the end of the day a peaceful protest, even if it may have started out that way for some. It definitely didn't end that way. But if you are peacefully protesting something and you basically have the right not to be compelled to unlock your device with a password, an actual typed in password, then you want to actually remove the biometrics from your device so your face or fingers can unlock it, and you have to actually unlock it with a strong password. While it's more of a pain in the butt, it's actually legally more secure under the Fifth Amendment, unlike your face or your fingerprint or any other biometric that possibly could be used. So this is something I think that is just really important. We need a Supreme Court ruling on this so we have a better understanding of how proper to defend ourselves. But as I will also dive into on my radio show, essentially, we have to understand this so we can better protect ourselves. We can't sit here and basically make laws to the lowest common denominator when the vast majority of us are innocent and want our protective rights, and that's a concern. And so I hope you tune into my radio show at some point this week. It'll be out next week on SoundCloud if you're not near a station, public radio station, or NPR affiliate near you. But nevertheless, it's something I think we need to discuss just as a whole, as a nation, and I think it's an important topic. And so that will be your deep dive of the week, but that is also your news of the day. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP, and please feel free to subscribe to me online at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please stay private. Thanks, everyone.